A work of art is not an end point in itself. It's a station on a journey, a chapter in our lives. We acknowledge these transitions by documenting each of them. Dear Diary, being multi-passionate has been both something that I love being and also find it extraordinarily frustrating, especially when I have all of these things that I want to do. I have all these ideas for how I want my life to be, and getting everything organized and started and knowing where to start and having an idea as to how I'm going to bring all of that together to make a life has been the biggest frustration of my life. This morning I had all these things that I wanted to do and I was having a hard time prioritizing and even just doing like little bits and pieces of each thing. And I just get really overwhelmed. I get really stuck in overthinking. I get stuck just making videos. I overthink it. I want things to be like bigger than I can make them right now because I don't have the skills yet. So what I'm grappling with now is how to incorporate these things, what I should pull back on, what I should put in, and kind of round all that out to make it all make sense. And I'm really, really stuck in that spot because I have this I have this urge to create things, and I have this urge to incorporate more, exercise as like some of the flare-ups have been like calming down. So I want to do more physical activity, and I'm trying to bring all that together in between work and other things that I'm doing in my life, and I just feel stuck. And I'm also getting that anxiety too of like spring's coming up. I'm gonna want to go outside and go and do a whole bunch of other things, and then that whole routine's gonna switch up because once it gets sunny, once the weather gets nice, everything falls apart because I just want to go adventuring and I want to go do all the things. So I'm feeling quite stuck, and I read that quote in The Creative Act, and it was like, I think I just want to document this moment in time. And I also want to say that it's not even the outcome. It's not even the outcome that I'm really considering. It's more like the experience of each thing, which makes it very, very silly when I can't just do the little thing, that I can't just set the camera up. I can't just sit down with a pencil or a book, or I can't just go for a walk. Like, I'm trying to prioritize and trying to slot things into time, and that just doesn't make sense in my head because I just want to be able to do everything. But it's like getting the actual action going. Sometimes I'm like in this spot where I'm bursting with ideas, but the implementation is just so hard. But I feel like that's very relatable, and I feel like there are a lot of people that go through these periods of time in which things are just kind of like stupid. That's kind of where I'm at right now, and I wanted to document that and also try to create a better plan for all of this. And I'm struggling. I'm really struggling. I am chipping away. I'm doing like little things here and there, which is amazing. And maybe I just need to be okay with that. Maybe I just need to be okay with it not going off the rails, like not going whole ham, which oftentimes I am that way, but there's still that thing when you're really motivated, you're really like, you're in a spot where you want to do all of these things. Meanwhile, there's the other part of your brain that's just kind of battling with you on it. And got this book from the library, and I think I'm going to go ahead and pick up a copy for myself. I just wanted to see, just kind of see how it was. And again, I'm never really worried about the outcome of things because I am one of those people where I'll just try stuff just to see what will happen, because I firmly believe that nothing is wasted. I firmly believe that because there's always some weird thing you learn, or there's always something that comes out of it, without the expectation that clouds it. You find all of these unexpected things that you never did. And I just really need to come back to that. And the craziest part is that being a beginner is the literal best to me. Like, this is the time to make mistakes. This is the time to just mess around and not worry about literally any of it, because there is so much learning in just playing around and doing it. you know, and the expectations, the bar should be low right now. I should have the bar very low right now, you know, and I keep like eking up. I keep kind of aiming for something else or thinking about, like, I tend to dream very big, and I get these huge ideas, but I have to get it from my head onto the thing, and I don't have the skills yet, and I need to, and I just need to figure that out. And being the beginner though, being a beginner, it's the time to make the mess ups. It's the time for things to be chaotic and literal nonsense. I remember there was this pottery teacher I had a bunch of years ago, and it was like the first couple of classes, and we were just starting to get things ready for the kiln, and we were like playing around with different techniques. And he said the best thing ever, which was, I love teaching beginners because they don't know the rules yet. They just do stuff. They just try it out. They just see what will happen. He goes, I learned so much from beginners because I'm tied up in the idea that this won't work based off of what I've learned and what I know. And yet here these beginners are not knowing the rules, not knowing that what they may be doing may or may not work, may or may not even come out. It might explode in the kiln, it might do all of these things, but beginners are not clouded with the same knowledge that I am. And I thought that was like, I'm obviously paraphrasing because that was a lot, but that was like the basic sentiment of what he was saying. And I try to come back to that, and I try to cling on to that and remember that right now, like, I could just do kind of whatever, and it may or may not work, but something might work that nobody else is doing, because my silly brain, the way that I approach things in my silly little way, might work and might be a little bit different, you know? They say creativity is taking like two like different things that don't really go together, but they smash them together and see what happens. So that's kind of what I want to do. I want to play around with things that don't make sense together and see what happens. Anyway, if you are also in it and you're feeling a type of way, you know, we're all just in it together. We're all just doing weird stuff. And I didn't really want to make this so much about like YouTube focused, really, but it's just where we're at. It's just where we're at right now. And so that's what I was going to just kind of talk about it in that regard. But it really comes down to anything. Being a beginner, like whatever it is, it really just comes down to messing around, figuring it out, figure yourself out, figure the techniques and the way things come together. It's all fun. It's just for right now honing in on like the one thing to start, the one thing to do today. I get mixed up in my head, and I start overthinking about things too much, which is completely unnecessary. Now is not the time to overthink. Now is the time to play around and just to do. So that's my little pep talk to myself. Anyway, I hope you're having an awesome day wherever you are, and take care. I'll see you in the next one.